Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video I'm going to be going over a team I used to beat Conquest 6 stage 31.8. I have been getting a lot of messages, seeing a lot of people struggling on this stage. I myself was initially struggling on this stage quite badly because there's not many ways through this. Infection doesn't work very well, neither does percentage damage, so there's not much you can go to. There is a maim, and that is actually what I used, but there's a very interesting character that I put in here, which I don't think a lot of people would use. Now the issue with this stage is there are 3 characters with 120,000 or higher base HP, and one of those characters is Davey. And obviously if he does his passive where he heals himself, he'll give everyone bonus HP, so suddenly those characters got like nearly 200,000 HP. It's impossible to get through this team with percentage damage. It's, I would say, really difficult, if not impossible, to do it with infection too. Just it's pure RNG, and this way I did it wasn't RNG. It was actually really relaxing, and I felt pretty satisfied once I beat the stage. And I beat it with this team right here, and I'll just go through each character and why they're here. Glenn is mainly here for 2 reasons. His leader skill, because he gives 20% HP, which will boost the main damage of Kapoor, and also one of his passives, the only passive I've actually upgraded, is give advantage. Every time he hits a crit, he gives out 20 AP, and he was just giving extra AP to people constantly through the fight, and I probably got off maybe an extra, rush on my key characters, Connie, Lydia, and Kapoor, at least once on each of those characters, and that makes a massive difference. And not having to command somebody to rush and being able to use Glenn here means that their signature moves will actually have a turn extra to reset rather than not resetting for a turn, which is actually really important, honestly. The weapon I gave him was a fast healing weapon. It doesn't really matter too much what else is on it. You can have attack on it and stuff, but fast healing, the more defensive it is, the better, just so he stays alive. Next up was Kapoor. He's mainly there for his main damage. He's got the signature move main, he's got the rush main. I don't think I've upgraded too much on his passives, but you could probably upgrade sharpshooter so that his basic attacks have a chance to do main damage as well, just a little bit of extra maim here and there. The weapon I gave him is very HP based, 45% HP at the top, 12% HP at the bottom, and that obviously stacks together. So he's got 60,000 total, so he's just going to be doing more maim this way. Next up is Rick, and Rick is here for 2 reasons. One is reviving, and 2 is the first turn is getting Lydia her rush off, so I can nuke someone just first turn. Now when he does his rush, he actually gives out 20 APs, and that can actually be pretty useful in itself as well. Now I'll come to Connie, and Connie is a surprise pick, I think. She's a silver character, but you'll see how powerful she is in this stage for me, and I think she's great. When it comes to what she can do, she can hit people for 20% of her attack in maim on her rush, and she can hit people for 20% of her attack in maim on her signature move as well. So both her rush and her signature move do exactly the same thing. And while she only has 55,000 attack for me, so the amount of damage that she would be doing is, just over 10,000, she also has honor roll, and this actually affects those 2 things as well. So eventually she got up to 30,000 per signature move, 30,000 per rush, and she was honestly just smashing. She was just smashing, especially near the end. You'll see how powerful she was. And I've been working on the Connie a little bit because I think long term she's going to be pretty interesting for challenge run, and I thought this would be a good opportune time to try and test her out. I didn't think she'd work that great on Conquest because it's only 10 stages versus the 20 stages of challenge run, but it seemed to work okay. But the weapon I had just used on her was just a basic stun on attack 1535 just to give her some attack. And then I had another character next to her with a 1535, which was this weapon. But Lydia had a 20% AP to self weapon so that she could get a first turn nuke off. And you know how Lydia is. She absolutely destroys. Basically, if you want to check her out, you can. I've fully maxed out all her most important passes when it comes to the amount of targeted damage she could do. Contamination's nice, but it wouldn't work on this stage very well. They didn't actually get any revives in because she's there for the decap and she's there for the early nuke and like the end nuke. Once Davy's taken out, Lydia gets a bit better. But I'll run through the clip and you'll see how I basically played this through. So as you saw, it came down to the wire, as a lot of Conquest stages do. But Connie was actually pretty good. And you can imagine what she's going to be like when it comes to the 20 stages of Challenge Run. I think Connie's actually a pretty good character to look at for Challenge Run when it gets really difficult. Right now, it's starting to get more and more and more difficult. Once the stages get extremely tanky, Connie could be good, you know. Connie could be good on those weird stages, especially considering she's a strong character and you can have 5 characters and a strong attacks weapon. She's going to be boosted massively. So, yeah, I think that long term she's actually going to be pretty good. And so I'm happy to invest the level ups and the military supplies and stuff like that. And she got me through this stage. Very different stage here. Very, very different. Really rough, honestly. 200k HP on those characters pretty much with the bonus HP included is crazy. But do tell me what you thought about 31.8. How did you get through it? Are you up to that point at Conquest 6? Let me know in the comments down below, guys. That is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.